Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, I said I'd come back every day this week with a different little easy idea to get you started if you wouldn't want to join in with the great big little art swap, but you don't know where to start. Just easy ideas just to prove the point that you don't have to be a great artist. You can be just like me and just have a bit of fun with it, and that's what it's all about. Making a little piece of art and sending them back and forth to each other just to kind of share some ideas and inspiration and a bit of fun with each other. So I don't want anybody getting hung up on it and thinking that they can't join in because they're not a proper artist or something, because it's really, no one's expecting a Rembrandt, So now I have to do a super quick one today. The last two have been way longer than I meant them to be, and today I've been so busy opening parcels, filming them and editing those, I haven't actually done any art or started on my stitched squares. So I'm going straight into it, and I've got a couple of really super quick, easy ideas for you today. So the first one is just about colouring in. There's several different ways that you could just do some colouring for your art swap. So Dawn Jones, who's you might have seen her posting in our Facebook group, and she's also just joined our Discord as well. And she posted a whole lot of different pictures. It's a post with a whole lot of different colourful pictures. If you have a look, I think she posted it yesterday or the day before, just giving some ideas for really quick, easy ideas. Now, funnily enough, she said about colouring as well, and I hadn't thought of this, but what she suggested was that you could trace an image from a colouring page and then add a little bit to it, add another little extra element to it just to make it your own. What I was thinking was I'm going to actually cut out a piece of, I've got this little book. Now, I can't remember where this came from. It came in a box or a kit or something. And I kept it because I thought it was cute, but I've never done anything with it. And I thought, well, these little pages will just about make my 10 centimetre square. So you could take an actual colouring book, cut a 10 centimetre square out of it, and colour it in with whatever you like to use. And there's no reason why that can't be your art piece. Another idea that Dawn came up with that I'm going to try too is making colourful fingerprints and then doodling on them. She made little fun characters. I'm probably going to do faces because faces is kind of what I know the best and I'll be able to do really quickly. So with this one, Miss Wa's Shades of Kawaii. Take some time to relax and lose yourself in Miss Wa's world of cute characters. So all I would do here, and you could do this with a bigger colouring page as well, just cut it up into several pieces. There's artistry in doing nice colouring, isn't there, with just colouring pencils or alcohol markers or whatever you like to use. So how big is it? So it's actually, if you look there, it's just shy of the 10 centimetres or 4 inches. Now I would say here, don't get too hung up on that. I'm going to do it anyway. I could, if I wanted to, hang on, I can't find my small black card at the moment. I don't know what I've done with it, but so I've got a piece of scrapbook paper just to show you. So I could mount it on an extra little piece of black card just to frame it, and then, so this is the idea of the swap. I'm not going to re-explain this every time because this is a little short series. The idea of the swap is a 10 centimetre square with a 1 centimetre border all around it, or 4 inches with a 3/8 of an inch border all around it. So if I just cut this a minute, it's easy to show you them. So it's actually 9.5 centimetres. I'm going to trim off that very edge because it's all perforated. Get rid of that. And it now measures 9.5 centimetres. So I'll cut it at 9.5 just to be consistent. So I've now got this square. I would say don't worry about it too much. The art swap police aren't going to come out and tell you off for making your art piece slightly smaller. To give you the centimetre around the edge, you need to mount it onto a bigger piece. Or you could start with a bigger piece and just use some masking tape and do a tape peel at the end, which is always fun as well, isn't it? But this is the size piece I've got to work with, so I would just mount it on my 12 centimetre piece, and that has given me a little border around the outside. And if somebody's mounting all of their swaps in a book, it's still going to look of a piece with all the others. That's near enough. If it really bothered you, and if you like the look of having a little extra pop of black around it just to frame it, you could use some double-sided tape or Pritt stick or something, stick it onto black card first, cut round it, just leave a little margin. That will bring it to the 10 centimetres, and then mount it onto the 12 centimetre square like that. And that would set it off really nicely. So I might do that. I might do this for some of my art pieces. I might just do some colouring in. Why not? As I say, there is an art to doing colouring in, isn't there? You know, and I think that'd be a lovely little piece to send to someone. Okay, so that was that idea. I'm not going to colour it in now. You don't need to sit and watch me colouring in. I'm by no means an expert. But whatever colouring books you've got, perhaps it's, you know, perhaps there are some pieces that you've already coloured in before that you could cut up and turn into your little 4-inch squares. Sometimes just taking a piece out of a larger page can look really effective, can't it? So that's that idea. And then this other idea is what Dawn showed in her post in the Facebook group. So I'm going to do this on this smooth paper. I thought smooth paper would work better for this. So I've got this multimedia paper by Claire Fontaine. It's quite a weighty paper, and it's nice and smooth because I don't want to use a pen on it afterwards. You could, as I say, cut your 12 centimetre square, mask off 1 centimetre all around the outside, do your whatever work you're going to do, and then peel the tape off to give you a 10 centimetre square in the middle with that border all around. But I'm finding that with these little A5 pads, which I've got a lot of them from having a lot of scrawler boxes, I don't tend to buy A5 pads. I find them a bit small to work on for most things, but for this, great opportunity to use them. And I can just get 2 10 centimetre squares out of this with a little bit of waste there. Won't really be wasted. I'll keep it for collage. So I'm going to work on 10 centimetre squares and then mount them onto a piece of card like the one I just showed you. And this is just cheap white card. So it's less expensive than using my fancy papers, if you know what I mean. And you could use, you know, the back of a greetings card. You know, if like me, you hoard things like that, just, you know, use whatever. It doesn't have to be white either. Could be whatever colour you like. Black would set it off nicely sometimes too. So let's cut this piece. And again, you know, 4 inches is very slightly bigger than 10 centimetres, but they're still going to fit together nicely if somebody's putting them all in a book together. And what I'm going to do now is my take on Dawn's idea. I've just got some pigment inks here. You could also do this with, you could just scribble on your finger with you know, you've got a fairly juicy felt pens, like water-based felt pens, not alcohol-based ones because they'll dry too quickly. You want something that's going to stay a little bit wet. That's why I've got these are pigment inks, they'll stay a little bit wet. Or you could use paint for this, whatever you've got to make colour. All I'm going to do is take my, shall I use my thumb? It's a bit fatter. Shall I use my fingers? I'm going to use my thumb. And Dawn said about going to work the next day with colourful fingers. How to explain them the next day at work. So I'm just pressing my thumb on there. This would be a really fun one to do with the kids as well, wouldn't it? You want to get some kids involved in this. Why not swap with the kids? Get them to swap with their friends at school. Ooh, that was a bit darker, isn't it? Gonna make this one a bit darker too. Let's have some green. Ooh, oh no! Don't do that. Not a good idea. Tell you what, I'll just put I'll make a thumb there. So it'll be somebody peeking in from the edge. Yeah, that's okay, that works. And then I just want a bit of yellow here. So there we go. I've got, these are my little faces all ready to go. What Dawn did was, I need these to dry. You see that I deliberately chose these pigment inks because I know they take a while to dry. Yeah, I deliberately chose these because I knew they wouldn't dry too fast, but now I need them to be dry before I can carry on. I think that's probably dry enough. And then I'm just going to use a Sharpie. What Dawn did was she turned them into little characters. I think it was like things like little birds, little cats, and things like that. I'm going to do faces. Let's make this into a little face. I don't know what I'm doing. Just making it up as I go along. Sharpie's wanted to bleed into this paper, so it makes you be really quick actually. You could spend a little bit more time on it than this, obviously. I'm just showing you quickly here in 5 minutes the kind of thing you could do. I would also, I think I would definitely want to spend just a little bit more time than that one. I've ruined it now. I've ruined it now anyway. Yeah, I'd want to spend just a little bit more time on it than that, but this is just to give you a quick idea. You could equally well have a look at the ones that Dawn's shown on the Facebook page. You could equally well turn them into little critters, or turn them that way, make them into little fish, whatever. I tell you what, if you put it down in front of kids, they'd probably come up with more ideas than we would, eh? So yeah, then I would just mount it on my piece of card like that, or I might use a black piece of card if I wanted to. You could have a whole crowd of people. What about a whole crowd of faces and they're all singing in a choir? Or watching a tennis match. Where did that other one go? I'm trying to do too many things all at the same time. Bit of chilled out stitching this evening will sort me out. Here we go. Let's put that over there. I'm going to get the thumbnail now. Let's put that over there so that we can hide my boo-boo there. And hide my slightly dodgy face there. Look. You'd never know I was trying to hide something on purpose there, would you? Here we go. That'll do for my thumbnail. Get my face out of the way. So there we go. That's just a really, really quick idea for you today. I'll come back with another quick one tomorrow. And like I said, I've said on the other videos, if anybody's got any ideas that you'd like to share with people for things you could do just to get you started, just fun things to do on a little 4-inch square, just to make a little piece of art to swap with each other, then please do feel free to share them in the comments, in the Facebook group, or in our free Discord community. I'll put my link tree in the description so that you can find your way there if you would like to, and I'll also link up to the great big little art swap video so you can find out all about that as well. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to go and do a nice bit of gentle calming stitching now. Thanks for joining me. I hope you liked that little idea, and I will see you again really soon.